Hello, Wendy Fagoni, Somatic Ecotherapy. I have fallen in love with a new hobby that's super good for my health and well-being. Filming outdoors again because it gets me outside. And even if you're not outside, you get nature in the background. That always feels good. This is my morning meditation place. Nature journaling is what I want to talk to you about today, and I want to give you some resources to get going, and I want to talk about how this beautiful, beautiful practice has changed me in so many ways and how you can get started. So, John Muir Laws has a website, and at the end of this video, I will give you all of the resources. But John Muir Laws, he has a website that most of his material is free or by donation. He's a nonprofit, so a good foundation to give money to. This is his book that's quite lengthy. I was turned on to it in my forest therapy training. And basically, nature journaling is you start out with a big piece of paper, you get yourself a journal. This is my very first one, and I love that I'm a beginner with this because it's not about making a pretty picture. It's about the process of inquiry and noticing. And so what you do is you start out, first of all, let's go over tools. I've got my little ocean and forest watercolor set of watercolors that I found a website called Temu, and oh my gosh, there's so much. I think these were like $5, and in the store I bought them for $25. Good set of watercolors. I have a nice mechanical pencil. You can go crazy with your resources and tools, but you don't need to. I've got a white Sharpie so I can go over any of my things I want to. A nice waterproof pen to draw with, so you can do watercolors over the pen. And then I love my water brush pen that I fill this up with water, and you just squeeze it and the water comes out. So all these are great because they're pretty small resources that I carry along with me. So I have the big journal, I have a medium-sized journal, and then I have a little tiny journal. So depending on how little or much I want to carry, I love the big journal. And it's for all different kinds of media, although I mainly do pencil, pen, and watercolor. So how you get started? So what I did is you have a white piece of paper, and so like I said, it's not about making a pretty picture necessarily, though as you practice, your pictures get prettier and prettier. It just happens. They get more representationally accurate, I should say. So before you even worry about like starting to sketch anything, I usually just start putting down words. So you could start with, what is the date? What is the weather? This is called metadata. And sometimes I put in like how I'm feeling. So on this one, I put in the date. I was at Costa Noa over in Pescadero, and I later added some rainbows because there were lots of rainbows that day. And I have here big storm, more rain. That was that big storm that we had last year, and I was in the middle of it, which was really fun doing nature journaling. So anyways, and then you pick something in nature that catches your attention. This is how we integrate forest bathing. So a lot of times, for example, I'll just go for a beach walk and I'll just notice what catches my attention. So on the day that I did this, there was a shell that I found. And this shell, because I happen to be a tide pool docent and have studied what things you find on the beach and in the tide pools. So this is a chitin shell. And as you can see, it looks kind of like a butterfly. So at first I just started, I sketched it. And so whatever it is, it could be just a leaf that you start out with. And you spend about 15 minutes just looking, not worrying about getting it just perfect, but just the more you observe something, the more you start to notice. And curiosity opens the gateway, observation opens the gateway to curiosity. So I sketched it, and then I started putting some more words down. I put what it was, a chitin, and in the middle there's a big orange blob because the biggest chitin's called gumboot chitins. So they're spongy and they're mollusks, and I said it's smooth, unusual shape. As you can see, it's a butterfly shape, so I put that. And then I started wondering, so I wonder, how long do they live? What do they eat? Who eats them? And what else did I put in here? Oh, I love identification. I love to learn. Fun fact, they can curl up into a little ball like a roly-poly, etc. So, and then you go back and overlay watercolors, which is just a really relaxing process. At the end of the day, I love to use my watercolors. One of my favorite books is Watercolor in Nature. This gal gives you some projects to do, and it's just fun. So I'll just show you another example. This is one when I was in Japan, and they gave us a leaf, and we did this exercise with a leaf. And so this is my leaf, and I was in Okutama, there's Japan. It was Sunday. We were on the Tama River, and they were talking about wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfections, which I don't know if you can see, but my leaf has a wabi-sabi on it. And then it reminds me of, like, the crests of the leaves. The leaf reminded me of wave crests. And so I did like a zoom in lens there to kind of make a little wave thing. Clear streams, onsens, because that day I had spent time in an onsen. Giant trees. What else exhausted. I was so tired that day. And so your nature journal can be just really what you want it to be. I've always wanted to do a nature journal just on sunsets. Here's some leaves. I never got the words down, but I was just playing around with leaves. And I love sharing my art because I am a beginner, and I feel like this is a great thing to do, like with your child, if you have a child, even an adult child, or great thing to do with a group of friends, because it's just super relaxing. And the gift is, I go back to my nature journals and it reminds me of that day, because I have so much written down about that day. And a lot of times as I'm sketching, just a lot comes up inside of me, a lot of realizations, epiphanies, insights. So, oh my gosh, John Miralles has an abundance, if you look him up on YouTube, of free tutorials to get started. And they have a Facebook group, if you go to that website. And once a year, they have a conference where people from all over the world get together and share their nature journaling practices. So go ahead and get started and reach out to me. Share some of your nature journals with me. And please keep your eyes open on my retreat page on my website, Somatic Ecotherapy, because I will be offering forest bathing, self-myofascial release, and nature journaling retreats. 3 days of bliss. Thank you.